Hello everyone watching the VOD and watching live. It's time for another episode of The Cool Board, and for today's episode we have a bit of a special. This is the GMK on GMK special, meaning all 12 cards for tonight will all be GMK sets. Which GMK sets? Let's find out. Fair warning to everyone who's watching VOD and live. I apologize ahead of time. I have really bad allergies today, so you may hear quite a bit because the nose be runny, but the stream must go on. I'll try to not be annoying with all of it, but it's time for the cool board. So, guys, hoping for some wows tonight, hoping for some yikes tonight. Let me know in chat right before we start, what sets do you think you'll see, and how do you think you'll see any wows? Do you think you'll see mostly some cools, mez, yikes? I don't know what you guys think might happen. Remember, we got 12 GMK sets. There's a lot of GMK sets. I only picked 12 for today, but it's a start. It's a start. You guys ready? Yeah, you guys ready to get started? Shimi is your first cool board episode. Well, you're in for a treat. Oops. I'll fix this. There we go. No worries, bud. No worries. Well, let's get started with the cool board for anyone who is joining and doesn't know about the cool board. The cool board's simple. Every week, I take 12 items in the community, and together with you, the chat, and with my own opinion, we're going to see where things rank, whether they're wow, cool, meh, or yikes. So let's get started. Starting off, the first topic of today, signed by UK Keycaps of Mech Supply. This kind of had a small interest check, and then it went straight to what it was. It was run only to 150 units, and then bam, right away. It didn't have the best compatibility. I would say overall it had really bad compatibility, but it was a take on a popular key set at the time. Where do you guys think GMK Miami Dusk ranks on the cool board? I have a feeling a lot of people are going to say between meh and cool. The compatibility was pretty poor, but I think it's one of the best implementations of the Miami colorway we've seen. I think it's better than the Miami on the dark Miami Nights. I think this is like the best implementation of Miami, but I think it's the worst compatibility. It was really bad compatibility. So somewhere between meh and cool would be my guess of where chat is saying. Let's see, chat is saying meh, never heard of it. Would be cooler if it had better compatibility. Yeah, would be way cooler if it had better compatibility. So it looks like meh is the general scope here. Where in the meh? Is it cooler than like a ZZ96? Is it around GMK Dolch level? Is it down by JTK purple on white? Where in this meh area would you guys put it? I'm thinking because at least this is the best implementation of Miami, even though it had bad compatibility, if you could get it to work with your keyboard, that puts it up at okay amounts. I'd like say somewhere solidly in the middle of meh. That's what I think. What do you guys think about this spot on the meh side of things? Maybe we got a small zoom. Trying to give you guys as much space whilst trying to be in frame still. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good place to put it. Let's put her there. So it'd be right around the GMK Saware level. What is next for the cool board? This next one was really popular when it ran. It features a blue, it features a white, it features a dark gray. It essentially featured copyright infringement upon a very popular Nintendo IP that features one of the best squads in cartoon history. That squad, of course, being the Squirtle Squad. I'm talking about GMK Hydro, run by JChan94 of Keyclock when Keyclock was the bee's knees. GMK Hydro, where does it fall? Aren't those Squirtle novelties so cool? But how the set as a whole? Where do you guys feel GMK Hydro falls? Has it aged well? Or has it aged poorly? I don't see it on too many boards these days. So, what do you guys think? GMK Hydro. Where's it fall? Looks like cool. Low cool. Mid meh, says Mr. Nathan Kim. Low cool. Everyone says cool except for Nathan Kim. Does Nathan Kim know something we don't? Or is he out of touch? Low cool, even though you love the Squirtle Squad. The novelties definitely made this set, I think. I don't think many people ordered them, because I remember them going for really expensive after the fact. I know for a while a lot of people were trying to do interest checks of essentially GMK Hydro, but you replace that blue with like red or green or other colors, which a few of them did happen, which we'll talk about in a bit, I'm sure. What do you guys think? Low cool seems to be the general area. Like, is it? I don't know if it's cooler than Chocolatier. Maybe like DCS coffee level, so like one step less cool than Chocolatier. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's as cool as Chocolatier. That's the thing. Maybe it's like the same tier of coolness, but lower. No way, says Pilot XJ. Nah. Maybe like Kirish then, right? Some less cool than Chocolatier. But gosh, this board is getting really cramped. Not too bad, not too bad. The set was extremely popular, sold extremely well when it ran, and this is back in the day when GMK prices were still a bit up there compared to how they are today. Okay, our next set is one of the highest selling GMK sets from, some people would say, a controversial designer, some people would say a very popular designer. This designer has been one of Massdrop's darlings for the last year. Key set after key set in different profiles. It's a very polarizing key sets. Very loud, either you love it or you hate it. GMK Laser. GMK Laser by Mito. Where does GMK Laser fall? Getting a lot of cool. I think these are going to be polarizing. Meh. Trash. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Don't even put it on the board. People like the novelties. People think it's cool. It's very striking. It's very striking. I mean, like, this is like a small, tiny printout. But, ooh wee. Crew says, it's cool based on the numbers and you own it, but you'd give it a mess still. The ice is nice, you say the same thing. Sold really well, but a meh. Some people are saying either meh or cool, straight meh. Is it just right here between the meh and cool zone? Or is it cool? Or, so far I think I've seen more cools than meh at any rate. But like, just nestled in there, in between. Good spot for it. Who owns laser? Put it next to keyboard and go. Who in chat owns laser? What do you guys think of? That's what I'm curious about. You know, what do you guys think of laser? Own every kid, own it. Quite a few people in chat own it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Is this where laser belongs? Saddling between cool and meh? Just because of its ability to be so strikingly striking? Both in like, it strikes you as a wow and it physically strikes you in like, ugh, at the same time. So meh, you wouldn't own it. A lot of people say they own it and they still feel mad about it. Still in a sealed tray. Ooh. So realistically, if Long's and cool, if you ask you, it's a wow because you love the novelties. It's true, the novelties are a big part of laser. For those of you who have laser, did you get the novelties or did you not get the novelties? Do the novelties bump it up for the rest of you who have it or don't have it? Or you guys think the novelties just went too far for what was already a very loud and proud kind of set? I didn't get laser. I thought it was a bit too loud for my tastes. I would consider picking one up these days if I could find it for a decent-ish price. But it wasn't, at the time, what I wanted. And even now, unless I got it for like cheap, I wouldn't go out of my way to pick up GMK laser. I'm going to put it still in the middle, but not all the way up there. More like right here. Just saddling the line. I think that's a good place for GMK laser. Okay, what is next? Okay, someone in chat, just say stop at any time. You guys are like 6 seconds behind, so this works. Alright, Sushimi said stop. And Aliens to stop at any time as well. So, our next keycap set. It's had 2 rounds. This is a designer who's done a few designs in our community. The second round was very popular because the second round had an option for a separate sub-legend kit with Hangul legends that people very, very much enjoyed, even though it did struggle to launch for the second round in terms of reaching MOQ, but it did. Designed by Coco Brace, GMK Burgundy. The second round did have a Hangul sub-legend, which was really pretty cool, The colors itself, Burgundy is a very, very rich red, and a lot of people really, I think the set is underrated almost. Like, I think everyone will say it's cool, but when you ask like who has this set, less people have this set than you may realize, which I think is unfortunate for this set. I wish I had this set. I don't have this set. I like this set. I think it's at least cool, right? Like, I think a lot of people are in the same boat where like, yeah, this is a cool set. Do you own it? No. Which is like a weird thing to think about. Hey Zekin, good to see you. So yeah, GMK Burgundy. Everyone's agreed it's generally a cool set, right? Mid cool, is it as cool as GMK Taro, or maybe it's cool as like a Duck Octagon V2, or maybe it's cool as Hydro. You know, where along this area is it cool? GMK Burgundy. I wish I got it. Do you wish you got it? Who in chat actually has it, and who in chat wishes they got it? That's what I want to know, because, man, GMK Burgundy, like, this is where it's at. Kind of where it's at. I wish I got it. Don't have it, don't care much for it. Just right of the Octagon, lowers his star. What do you guys think? GMK Burgundy. It's cool. I think it's the universal agreement here is it's pretty cool. If you want it, it's in stock on Z Frontier. Ah, nice. I don't know that. Maybe I will grab one later. cool. Wait, C space O space O space L. That's a pretty cool way to write it. Should add another section for all that stuff. You got debated. Oof. Not so. Just icons. Yeah, it's cool. How cool is it? Okay. Is it as cool as GMK Taro? Question 1 to chat. Yes or no? Is GMK Burgundy as cool as GMK Taro? No? No? Okay, everyone says no. Not as cool as GMK Taro. What's the next comparison? Is it as cool as JTK Yolsh or cooler than JTK Yolsh? Cooler. Cooler. Nope, cool. Okay, mostly cooler. So it's going to be between Taro and Yolsh. This is a weird area. So how about around here? So it's cooler than Yolsh, not as cool as Taro. I think it's a pretty good spot for it then. Bam. Green eggs and ham. Okay. Our next set, after I pick up the one I dropped, which I guess will be the next one. Our next set was the classic set that made orange popular. But not designed by a modern designer. No, no, no. This was originally based off a keyboard of the same name. The keyboard was a blue keyboard, and of course, to give the wildest contrast, let's make some orange keycaps on it. I'm talking about GMK Skidata. Skidata. So, how cool is GMK Skidata? I know Ski Data has ran on the Key Company, which has been a more recent round. Has it aged well? Is it just nostalgia because it was so unique at the time where it was polarizing? What do you guys think? GMK Skidata. Ski Data. Orange and black. Orange and black. Black and orange. Got some low mez, got some cools. Just normal Skidata. Skit data. The first time I was interested in Skidata was the first time it ran as a normal GMK set in the modern day, not the current rounds. And I missed out on it. I was like, hey, who has it? And I think it was someone messaged me. They're like, I have it. I'm like, how much? $260. I'm like, nope. I like it, but not that much. But it looks like not many people, I don't see pictures that often of Skidata. I don't see many people like showing off, I have Skidata. Yeah. See, yeah. So I don't think it's aged well, to be honest. Has it? Like, I know it used to be pretty hot. But I guess not anymore. But then again, it was hot back in the day when, you know, there'd be like 2 GMK group buys a year, right? Those were old days. Didn't age well at all. Is it a yikes? No, it's not a yikes. It's like, is it cooler than Miami Dusk? We had Miami Dusk. Some people say it's better than Yolsh below Burgundy. Some people think it's up here. It's over here. I know some people said it's a big on the meh kind of side of things. GMK Skidata. Ski Data. Near Palm. Near the Jelly Palm down here on the meh side of things. Ooh. It has not aged well then, if you guys. Then again, it's like in the same generation as GMK RGB YK back when that was a cooler thing. Also has not aged well. Like, here-ish? What you're saying? A few of you guys are saying this? If this was available for you to purchase today for $140, would you purchase it? $140 Skedaddle. That's what I want to know. $140. No, you buy for $120. No, likely. For me, 140 is like one of those prices where, like, you know, you have to want to buy it because you know you can get other GMK sets for like 120, 130. So I think 140 becomes that point where it's like, how much do I actually like it? How much? Get to doing that big thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? Buy over here? Has it not aged that well? Or is it maybe a little better on this side of Palm? I just think it should be on this side. I don't think it's as cool as granite or canvas, but I think it is better than RGBYK. So I'm gonna put it here. I think it's okay there. Okay, our next one is a interesting GMK set. It was the first GMK set run in the modern day to not feature compatibility for a TKL. It doesn't have compatibility for a 60%. It doesn't have compatibility for a full size. It has very little compatibility, but it still met MOQ. It's all blanks, and it was inspired by art. You're wondering, what? Doesn't have any of those compatibilities? What the heck kind of set is this? Designed by Jebra and ran on Caps Unlocked. I'm talking about GMK Mondrian, which basically just 40%. It didn't even fit all 40%. It only fit like the 40% of the time, which wasn't that many compared to today. But it ran, met MOQ. The 40% crowd at the time rallied together and pushed it through when it was very, very difficult to happen. All blanks, but it has some nice fancy colors, hence the inspiration from art. What do you guys think about this? We have some cools, and you have some yikes. Wow. Cools and yikes, so not a wow. That's for show. Lower than Skedaddle. Round 2 needs to happen, says Pluto. Jimmy and Mondrian, where does this fall? It was one of the first GMK group buys for blanks. So, how well did this age? Because it's been, what, a year and a half, 2 years since this happened? It has that kind of history behind it. But who uses it anymore? No. Cool, man. Well, if I take... So, no compatibility keeps it from being cool. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with that. It's not as future-proof as a lot of sets that ran at the time. That's one of the issues with like running a 40% kind of layout for that time. And that's kind of, you know, not a fault on its own, but that's just because the community has changed so much in their taste for 40%. 50% now are getting big, or between 40 and 50, I mean. Just a ton of different layouts in the under 60% range. And I don't think this set was designed well enough to keep up with the potential changes. So I'm going to personally mark it out of the cool zone, and it's going to be a meh. It's going to be a meh. But where on the meh? Where on the meh? Where on the meh? It's a big question. Yikes, says Nebulant Titan. You've never heard of it. I'm going to say it's actually pretty low. I don't think, like, the current GMK Blanks Group Buy is a better deal than this set. This set was also kind of pricey for what it was at the time. The only reason it really happened was because, like, it was the only option for 40% who wanted GMK. Hence, it was all blank. So I'm going to put it pretty low. I don't think it aged well at all. I think it was cool when it happened. I don't think it's cool anymore. Okay. Okay. What's next? Next up is a set that's had 2 rounds. This set was originally criticized for being the green version of GMK Hydro. It was inspired by the color green and foresty stuff. The first round came with a very cool sticker that a lot of people liked at the time. It was actually one of the... Actually, did round 2 run? I forgot. I don't think... Maybe... I don't know. But people really liked it. Yeah, I think round 2 did. I think you're right, Keyboard Fan. But people did like this set when it ran. It actually did pretty well. It was from a smaller group buy runner who, as far as I know, isn't terribly active anymore. This is GMK Coniferous by Donut Cats, who was known for donut cables. Yeah, Coniferous. Yeah, you're right. Round 2 didn't go through. But round 1 did. Round 1 was actually pretty popular at the time. So how cool is GMK Coniferous? Got some cools, got some mez. Got 8. Yeah, there you go. 2 cools, 2 mez. What do you guys think? GMK Coniferous. Another cool. Medium meh. What do you guys think of this set? You guys are pretty mixed between cool and meh. So, I'm going to say this. I don't like green as much as I like blue. So, for me, automatically it has to be lower than Hydro. That's my executive decision in that regard. So... Well, I don't think it's cooler than Laser. I'd rather have Laser than Coniferous. So... I'm going to put it around the Miami Dusk level. But lower. Like right here. Solidly in the meh zone. That's my decision, because I don't think it's as cool as GMK Hydro. I think it's a worse version of GMK Hydro. You can fight me about that. Okay. Our next set is also green, but in my opinion, way better. This is a set that I got into. The set ran on Mass Shop. It was extended for a week and a half because it didn't make MOQ. It just scraped by MOQ, and on the last day got a small surge, and I think made like 10 units over MOQ with this GMK sets. And then a year later, the set went for over double the price on our mech market, which is like, what the heck? Because a few good pictures were posted and everyone was scrambling. The set features GMK pad printing, which is, in my opinion, better than normal pad printing, but it's still pad printing. A very unique pad printing. This set, designed by Mohitgarg, is GMK TA Royal Alpha Typewriter. What a name. Features 2 different greens, a nice little whites, sub-legends. It's pretty nice. So a unique thing was, this was, I think, the one of the first sets that did what GMK Olivia was criticized for, which was in the base kit featured the accent-colored spacebar. Like, you had to get the spacebar kit if you wanted the light spacebar. So what do you guys think about GMK TA Royal Alpha Typewriter? I have this set. I like it. I'll show you guys it right now. Get in there for those wonderful, beautiful sub-legends. Yeah, what do you guys think? Better than Coniferous? It is better than Coniferous. So it's definitely going to be at least this side of Coniferous. That's for sure. That's a given. But how much cooler than Coniferous is it? Arguably the best green set that comes to mind. I don't think there's a cooler green set that I'll mention that. Coolest set yet, says Nebulant. That's big words. That's big words. It's going to be in the cool. Is it like GMK Burgundy cool? Is it Round Taro cool? I think it's pretty. I actually do think it's pretty cool. Around Taro, slightly higher than Coniferous. Around Burgundy. I think around Burgundy or below Taro, I think, is a pretty good spot. I don't think it's going to be around Coniferous. I don't. Lower than Taro. Sure, no. GMK Royal Alpha Typewriter. Yeah, I need to refinish my feel. I know the feel doesn't look that nice. It looks pretty bad. It's bad. It's not a great powder coating job. It is what it is. I'm gonna say around Taro, but lower than Taro. I'm gonna say around Burgundy actually. Right there. I think it's cool. It's very cool because where else are you going to see more sub-legends like this other than in Grisand? Right? So, I think that's an appropriate location for those keycaps. Appropriate. Welcome back, Apocalypse. Okay. Well now. We are making our way through. We have 4 left. We're moving at a good pace. Our next sets was a set inspired by a company of the same name who used to also make micro switch keyboards out of Illinois, if I remember correctly. This modern set was designed by Living Speed Bump and ran on Originative. I have actually liked the set quite a bit without the modifiers. I mean, without the accents. The accents are red. It is a pretty nice, clean set. GMK Honeywell by Living Speed Bump. Where does GMK Honeywell fall on the cool board? How cool is it? What do you guys think? Do you guys have Honeywell? Do you guys not have it? Do you want Honeywell? Huh? I think it's cool. It looks like chat is in general agreement that it is at least pretty cool. We've even got a WoW in chat. Some people, looks like quite a few want it. Around Yosh level cool, so like maybe around GMK Royal Typewriter. Is it like, are we going in the line now? Or is it like higher than Burgundy and Typewriter? Super wow, says the Droke. Between Yosh and below Royal Typewriter. Above Burgundy. Higher. Definitely higher than Burgundy. Higher than Taro, says Pluto. Is this the first key set that's going to be a WoW? Is this a WoW level key set, or is it a high cool key set? Question. Right here, straddling between, right next to the cool label. High cool. So maybe around the TGR 910 level, around the Mira level of coolness. Up here. Higher than that. Below Taro. What do you guys think? Where does... There? Is this the spot of GMK Honeywell? Below Taro, above... Yeah, this is... You guys are going back and forth here. Around Taro is the general conclusion, but above or below? If it was below, it'd be cooler than Burgundy. Not as cool as Taro. Or it'd be above Taro. How about next to Taro between the Zephyr? So that would make it like not even a tier cooler, because this is at least the same tier, but different coolness within the tier. The coolest. Somewhere around Keeb Shelf. I mean the Keeb Shelf over there. That holds on my Keebs. Not cooler than Mirror or 910. Below Taro. This is very contentious. GMK Honeywell. Where does this fall? Where does this fall? Below. You guys are. This is gonna be close. Okay, I'm about to below Taro. That's because I think that's just because I don't have Taro and I feel bad for missing out on Taro. So I have more of a desire for Taro than Honeywell because I already have Honeywell. So right below Taro. Okay, our next sets. Also from Originative, a set that's had almost countless iterations. It is one of the original sets that people really loved. It has purples, it has cyans, it has grays of different kinds, and well, for a long time this set was extremely popular. It ran in SA, it's run in DSA, it's run in GMK. Where's the final frontier for this set? Who knows, but one of the most recent additions is GMK Hyperfuse Origins, the more stony gray kind of version of Hyperfuse. Not my favorite Hyperfuse. There's a Hyperfuse that I think is cooler than this one, but this is very popular right now. How cool is the Origins version? Origins version, not round 1, not round 2, not DCS, not DSA, not SA, not round 1 GMK, not Hyperfuse Knights with Knuckles and Tails and Sonic. I don't know. Cool. Mid-cool. Mid-cool? Remixer, right? Like I said, I can't even keep track of all the Hyperfuse variations. Solid, cool. I want to say like here, to be honest. I want to say over here. Am I crazy? Is the Rite of Chocolatier? It's like the same tier as Hydro, but above Hydro, but worse than Chocolatier. Below Coffee. Closer to Taro. Is it cooler than Chocolatier and Muted? That's what's here. Like this is the Magino line. Closer to Taro, not worse than Chocolatier, not cooler than Hydro. Yes. Hyperfuse Origins. Because you guys know, for quite a while, for like a solid 3 months in our community, there was a ton of Hyperfuse Origin pictures. It sold well. It's very popular. It's one of the most popular versions of Hyperfuse, undeniably. Better than Chocolatier. Same tier right below Taro. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? So, like, down here, not as cool as Honeywell, but cooler than Burgundy and TA Typewriter. Hello, Polyzoo. Good to see you. We were discussing how cool is GMK Hyperfuse Origins. I think here's a pretty good spot. Okay. We have 2 sets remaining for tonight. This next set is a set also designed by Coco Breas, the same person who designed GMK Burgundy, except on the flip side, instead of red, there is blue on this set. This is very subdued kind of sets. GMK blue on black, the second blue set of the night. Or third if you count laser. Where does blue and black fall on the cool board? Has this aged well? Not aged well? What do you guys think? Meh, meh. Blue on black is meh, so there are a lot of people saying meh. Hasn't aged like Skadata has, but meh. Meh cool. Dead center of the board. Blue on black. Where's blue and black fall? Dead center? Is it cooler than Hydro? Which is the better blue set between Hydro and blue and black? That's my question. Which is the cooler blue board? Not cooler than Hydro. Hydro is better. Meh. Hydro is cooler. Like around here, like lower than Blue Alps, higher than Canvas. Stand by Skadata. I guess it's basically the blue Skadata. Lower than Canvas, so down here. Higher than Canvas. Lower than Blue Alps. Well, this is lower than Blue Alps, where we're at. Canvas is Bay, though. Yeah, I'm going to say around here is okay for it. Around here is okay. Solidly a meh. Okay, we have one last set for tonight. When it ran, the renders were extremely promising, extremely exciting. When it shipped, and then the first people who got it took a lot of bad pictures, and people were worried because you couldn't see the legends against the keycaps. Because they're like, where's the contrast? It looks way better in the renders. But then people started taking good pictures, and then people were like, oh, wait. Yeah, you can see this really well. It's actually really clear and really beautiful. It has purple. It has gold. Designed by Brino in 1905. GMK Phantom. Bum, bum, bum. Where does GMK Phantom fall on the cool wall? I think it's pretty cool. I regret not getting it. Honestly, do regret not getting it. I think it's a cool set. It's a cool set. It's right between meh and cool. Very low cool, cool, heckin' cool, way cool, underrated. Ooh wee! How cool is GMK Phantom? I think the set is best when you're not using the accented spacebar in Escape. I actually usually like using accented enter and escapes for a lot of sets, but I think this is a board where you got to keep it all purple, and then with the gold legends, and that's it. Is this a difficult? So Ice and Ice mentioned it's cool, but you don't have a board you would put it on. If you have the set or want the set, is there a board that you currently own where you're like, yeah, it's gonna work for sure, or would it be like, I like it, I really want it, not sure where I'd put it, but I'd make it work. I'll make it work. That's kind of me. I want it. I think it's really cool, but if I got it, I have no clue what I'd put it on. No clue. I just make it work. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Kind of idea. For me, that does drag it down a little bit because I can't like just instantly imagine an instant like bam, awesome, cool scenario for it. And I'm not sure what you'd put it on. Put on an whiteboard. That'd be pretty nice. Purple gives it an extra cool factor. Phantom is greater than Budapest. On a yellow heavy 6. You think it'd work with your Doro 67. So, how cool is GMK Phantom? Cool? Mid cool? Low cool? High meh? Saddled between meh and cool? Champagne M65? Mid cool? High cool? Like SKCM Brown Alps kind of cool? Is it cooler than Taro? Which is the better purple set? Below Yolsh? I think here might be a good spot. I think it's better than Yolsh. And this is slightly more right than Yolsh. But I do think Taro is cooler. So I think this is a better position. Because I also think, like, because Phantom is harder to put on a keyboard, I think that's why, like, Honeywell, Hyperfuse Origins, Burgundy are a little bit cooler because they're more accessible in their ease of use. But this is still a definitely cool set. Is it too cool for school? I don't know. I don't know. There we have it. And those are our 12 key sets that we went through for today's episode of the Cool Board. Going over what we went through real quick. We got GMK Honeywell, Hyperfuse Origins, Burgundy, TA Royal Alpha, Typewriter, Phantom, Miami Dusk, Coniferous, Blue on Black, Mondrian. Is that it? Am I forgetting any? Yeah, that's a good amount. Taro is still the coolest key set we have, but maybe that won't last. Hope you guys enjoyed the cool. Our next episode is going to be Customs with a K, Customs with a C, and Customs, where we'll be going over 12 boards that are either customs, Korean customs, or Chinese customs, which will be a really exciting time. Thank you so much, Talisman Solution, for those bits. So hopefully, with the customs coming up, we might get some exciting wows. Maybe we'll get a board that trumps the Zephyr. Who knows, you know? If you have any recommendations on my Discord channel, there's a cool wall recommendation. So if you have any customs, or chustoms to recommend, feel free to put them there. I do have a small list already of ones I know I'm going to put on for sure. And the episode after that is going to be the season finale, where it's going to be my 12 best of the best that aren't already on this board. Things that I have or want to have. Things that I just think are, in general, some of the best. So we'll have that 2 episodes from now. The next episode will be customs, and chustoms. This is the Cool Board. And then after, of course, that the next 2 episodes, we're going to have a small little hiatus of the Cool Board while I revamp the show. But that's something I'll talk about in a later episode. Hope you guys have all enjoyed the Cool Board. Everyone who's watching on the VOD, yay. Everyone who's watching on the stream, I'll have a quick tease for you in a moment. Pilot XJ, thank you so much for those 200 bits. Everyone watching the VOD, thank you so much. Hope you guys see my other videos. Link down below to all my stuff. Thank sponsors. Thank you everyone watching on the VOD. For everyone watching the VOD, take care.